Hi. In this video, you will learn how to send faxes with Credit Money Machine. There are several methods on how to send disputes by fax, and I'm gonna show you two of them. You can have fax driver, like the program, like Wayne Fax for example, that when you print, it will send, or they will send, that data into your fax driver. And from there, you'll be able to fax it to the different bureaus. So essentially, any fax number is possible. And also, we are services, like eFax for example, or in Central, that they have what is called the ring fax. And that is a system that works through email. So since Credit Money Machine has email capabilities, we're going to assume that we're going to use that method to send to eFax or to ring fax. So, the first thing that you could do, not necessarily that you have to, but it's going to help you to create in the context. You are going to create records, like they are the credit bureaus, for example. In this case, we're going to look for Experian, that I have already created. And actually, we're going to put here in the group, we're going to put bureaus. And that is only to identify visually that these are a bureau, because it says the legal department. And I can put here if I want. For example, Experian. Well, I cannot type over. I can put here Experian if I want, instead of bureaus. Again, I can put Experian, and internally, what I'm going to have, when you click here, it's essentially, I'm going to have their email. Every different server has a different format, so, for ring fax could be this one, and for eFax we are slightly different. Maybe with a plus sign, and the number 1. So current, but essentially this is the structure. So you're gonna put the fax number, for example, ringfax.com. But of course, if you're familiar with your service ringfax or eFax, ringfax is part of our Ring Central. So if you know that, you're gonna use it, you're gonna use that format to type. So, there are two requirements. In the ring fax or in eFax, they will work the same. You need to send the fax from an email that is approved in this service, so, well, that is important obviously. And also you need to have here the fax number of the recipient. So, in this case, you're gonna put it here. So, once we have that, but you have the 3, in this case, I'm gonna use 1. And you need to select. You don't need to go there, through these records, or for example, this particular case. I'm gonna go using totally different record. This is you have to be used in the email system later on. Alright. So so you're gonna have the 3 bureaus available. I'm gonna go to your contact. The contact that you intend to send the faxes for, or on behalf to. So when you go to the dispute center, didn't click on it, but when you go to the dispute center, let me put everything here. In the change button, we can put everything to do, and you can, as you know, to manipulate the data further. But it's always good to remind you. I don't want to go on a tangent, but you can, for example, omit the inquiries. Here with the blue arrow to the right of the inquiry, you can omit all. Not one, you can delete them all. Essentially, with 2 clicks. So that's pretty useful. And then right now, you have all the disputes, and let me check here. I'm gonna click hold here, show all, okay, and then still I could only the input as if I wanted to, or not. Which I'm going to do just to make it. So, I'm gonna put everything to do, with everything. Before it was only I had selected only Equifax. I only had Equifax before, and that's why you saw it. That's one of the advantages of having one credit bureau per line, that you can do all this kind of tricks and manipulate the data with this. Which is essentially impossible in other programs. So, I'm going to omit the inquiries again. And depending on what you're going to do, well, this is obviously very easy to do. And you may want to leave them. So it's up to you. Or the opposite, you may want to only use the inquiries to dispute in one page. Or some of them, for example, that could be another option. So now, we have these, so we have selected everything. And we're going to print all these, so we want to print all these but using faxes. So when you click if it was only selected disputes so they could bring marked disputes. We will mark the one we want, like we have this one marked for whatever reason was marked here. That's okay, and then, only those will be considered. But, if you want to print them all like this one, print select the disputes you can. So now when you click the bottom you'll see that you can select the default which is all the creditors. This is not useful to bring faxes, because you want a separate thing, a separate letter, and not everything like in one PDF to be printed. So, that the full is fine if you're going to print or if you're going to do other things, whether you want to send faxes. Or maybe send some faxes essentially, mainly, you're gonna use, for example, pre-selected records from Experience. So it's gonna select only the records from Experian automatically and create the printing letter for Experian. Okay, and now we have that right here. So show the letter. So when we select this letter, in particular, is only for Experian. So I can see it. And you can see. This is only for Experian. This 3-page is only for Experian. That's a nice signature at the bottom, etc. Now, we can save it. If we had a driver, a fax driver, then we will print to that stripe. That will be perfectly possible, but, if we are using a service, we need to download the document even though already it is downloaded to your Windows document. I meant to the Downloads folder. Because it is downloaded to the Windows folder. So you don't need to do anything right now. Really, we can go to the next step. You will want to send this letter to Equifax. First, we'll go to the email system. Email system once here. We'll want to click the Create a New Message. And you more or less will know the number for Experian on My Experience. And, then you can type. You see if I put here 555, I'm gonna have here the legal department. Actually department legal, it's because it puts the last name first. I should have to change it the other way, but, it doesn't matter. At this moment, I think you see that one. As you can see, this is something that they're not gonna read. Because you're not gonna put subject. You don't need to put a subject that will include a cover page, which is not necessary. So you can click the attachment and grab or choose file here. And that will be the file to attach in this particular case. That will be the file you need to upload it, that's it. And then you will send it obviously, and, I'm gonna send, this is not the real number. And I'm not using actually eFax. If we came with this one because this is an old record that I created for Equifax. Actually the one correct would be this one for Experian. So Experian, this would be the one. But of course, this is not the right number for the Experian fax. Which by the way you have in the program, and then you will send it, and that's it. So that is the whole process. And then, you go back, and do the other two. So that is the process. It's a trade-off. It might be a little bit more extensive, even though it's easy, but, you're gonna save the printing, you're gonna save the stamps, you're gonna send the envelope, and the time that it takes to take it to the postal office, so you're gonna save time, and money, by doing these, and it's gonna take for you a few more seconds, so probably, when you're doing it quickly, really the difference is gonna be isn't that much. And you're gonna be able to track, because you're gonna have this in the sent folder, so you're gonna have all these emails, that you have set in the sent folder, and potentially, you want to put a cover page, well, you can put the subject, here with something like for example the name of the client, and you can put something, like legal department, from John Doe, whatever, and that way you can track, you can see visually, in the sent folder, you can see visually, those emails. So that's all. I hope you like it. It is really easier than I do in the video. So hope you like it. Thank you.